Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to our demo session about extensibility of cloud for financial services with our partner solutions provided by Avanade Accenture. My name is Alex Steinberg. I am a technical architect in an organization we call Microsoft Technology Center. I'm located in New York. I work with a lot of financial services customers around the world, and it keeps me pretty busy because that space is always changing and is always exciting. If you want to learn more about Microsoft Technology Center, you can take a look at microsoft.com/MTC. We have, during this Ignite, we have a number of sessions about cloud for financial services. You can search for them in the session schedule, just filter on industry and financial services. A lot of the sessions are focused on the Microsoft solutions and Microsoft's demonstration of Microsoft solutions for in the cloud for financial services. This demonstration is going to be a little bit different. We're going to talk a little bit about cloud for financial services and specifically about the October this year, 2020 wave. But majority of the session is going to be really focused on the solution from Avanade Accenture, which is extending the cloud for financial services for additional scenarios, which is a critical element for our strategy for cloud for financial services. We're going to leave some time at the end for Q&A. You can ask questions in the chat. We'll be monitoring chat. And also at the end, we will try to get everybody off of mute and ask questions real time as well. So Microsoft, if you haven't, if you have seen, we have a number of industry-specific cloud, with financial services cloud being one of them. I usually, when I work with customers in financial services, I kind of try to recommend looking at other solutions in other industry clouds. And why is that? We've done a lot of projects with financial service customers on things like in property and casualty insurance, for example, on safety in a house, in an apartment, or in driving habits with banking customers on things like branch utilization, things like that. And that's all using IoT technologies that are prevalent these days. Well, cloud for manufacturing has actually very interesting solution for IoT workloads. So don't look at it as just an isolation. The framework that we are building all of these solutions on, which is all the components of the Microsoft Cloud, they are can be reused across different solutions. And the same, of course, for sustainability. That's been a really popular topic lately and growing in hedge funds and investments and various areas of financial services as well. So don't look at it as one of the, I find one of the unique patterns around Microsoft Cloud for Industry strategy is the fact that they are built on the same elements. They're built on the same frameworks, like the Power Platform and Azure frameworks and so on and so forth. And they can be reused across different solutions and across different environments. We do develop first-party solutions, meaning Microsoft developed solutions based on the framework, which we continuously improve on, and we continuously innovate with new scenarios that we work with our customers to try to figure out what the priority of those scenarios are. And as we acquire new intellectual property, like we did with Nuance, Nuance has some very interesting AI capabilities. And you may have heard in other Ignite sessions and during keynotes how important we believe artificial intelligence is going to be in the future of work and in the future of interactions with customers and in the future of knowledge workers and in many different areas. So we're going to try to, or we are introducing a lot of AI capabilities within Cloud for Industry solutions and overall Microsoft Cloud solutions as well. From the latest release, October 22 release, And there are details in the demos of these, like I said, are in other sessions. We've introduced a number of additional solutions, both in general availability and a few are in public preview. We also introduced additional models, data models, within the Cloud for Financial Services as well. Those are also in preview. And we continue to expand worldwide. There are a number of worldwide locations that Cloud for FSI can be deployed, number of languages that has been deployed, and in October we extended it to the listed on the slide locations and languages as well. In addition to the technology, Cloud for Financial Services now also includes compliance program. This one is very interesting. It actually started, if you kind of go back a few years, it started as financial services specific program in Microsoft. Been very, very popular with financial services customers I work with. It was specifically designed for that. And then over time, it expanded to include additional industries. So at this point, it's a more generic compliance program that any customer can participate in. And it is also included, so it can be separate, or it can also be, or it is also included in Cloud for Financial Services. So I think that's a really good, compelling value for customers, just based on the feedback that I get from hundreds of financial services customers I interact with. Again, you can learn more about this. This session is more demo oriented, but you can learn more about the compliance program as well. Like I said, one of the great strategies that I find is really critical, and has been really critical, honestly, since the beginning of Microsoft, is partner ecosystem. We cannot be successful without our partner ecosystems, and that's been, since the inception of Microsoft, been a core strategy. And Cloud for Industry, Cloud for Financial Services is no different. And that's the main focus of today's session. How do we work with our partners like Avanade and Accenture to extend the framework of Cloud for Financial Services to other scenarios, to modify the existing solutions, to adjust to specific business processes and unique variations of technologies and solutions that a particular customer may have. So I want to introduce Lauren and Monte to walk us through the demo, and then we'll have questions after that.
Great. Thank you so much, Alex. Hi, everyone. I'm Lauren Schwartz. I lead our Accenture Microsoft Showcase, which is a three-way sales enablement platform, and it's accessible to all three of our sister organizations, Accenture, Avanade, as well as Microsoft. And so really excited to be here. We have a lot of demos on that platform, and we're very excited that this is one of them.
Hey guys, my name is Monty Green with Avanade. I am the solution lead in financial services. I led the team that actually developed the demo that we'll see today. So back over to you, Lauren.
Great, thanks, Monty. So today we're going to share our vision for human-centered digital banking. This demo was developed by both Avanade and Accenture to showcase the Microsoft platform and capabilities of the Microsoft Cloud for Financial Services. In our demo, we have two personas. One of them is Liv, our banking customer, and then the other one is Jack Wright, our mortgage specialist. And the two of them will interact throughout our demo across this digital banking journey. By the end of our demo, you'll see how AI can be used to preempt Liv's needs, surfacing the right recommendations and insights at the right times, and empowering Liv to reach her financial goals. You will also see that Liv can meet all of her needs without ever leaving the app, with the option to virtually connect with a human for advice whenever she wants it. Most important, though, about this experience is all the things Liv doesn't see. She is not confronted with an IVR or inundated with unwanted product offers and advice. She is not handed off between local reps asking her to re-explain her situation. And she is not asked to travel to a bank branch in person to meet with an expert for something she expects to do online. As a digital native, Liv has come to expect this level of service, but until now, she has not seen that from her traditional bank. With that, let's dive into our demo, which starts when Liv, our bank customer, gets a notification on her phone that some unusual spending has been detected. Here, we can see that Liv has been navigated to her in-app messages, where we can see an alert that some of her recent purchases are outside her typical spending patterns. Liv clicks on this message, and then she's navigated to an intelligent chatbot for support. The chatbot asks Liv to verify these large transactions, and so Liv responds, yes, she has made all of these purchases. Next, we can see that because this is an intelligent chatbot, it used an AI algorithm to detect some spending patterns in Liv's transactions that indicate she may be both planning a wedding and a move. It asks Liv if this is the case. Liv then confirms and responds that yes, she is indeed planning both to get married and move to New Haven. We can see through this exchange that we've just taken what is typically a negative user experience, an unusual spending alert, and turned it into a positive one, which is now an opportunity to provide Liv with highly relevant and customized insights based on these important life milestones. Now that the chatbot has this context about Liv's goals, it offers to increase her credit limit to accommodate her need for increased spending, while also letting her know that it can help protect her credit score. Liv selects to increase her credit limit by $5,000. Here we can see the chatbot confirms that her credit limit has been increased to $20,000 based on the option she just selected. And then the chatbot asks Liv whether she is planning to rent or buy her new home in New Haven. Here, Liv can then reply that she and her fiance are planning to rent. The chatbot now has this great opportunity to unlock significant value for both Liv and the bank by educating Liv on why to consider buying a home versus renting one. You can see here it's quickly performed an analysis of a monthly rent versus mortgage payment in New Haven and informs Liv that a monthly mortgage could cost 70% less a month while also allowing her to build equity. Now that the chatbot has guided Liv to consider the benefits of being a homeowner, it offers to generate a free pre-qualification letter and add it to her profile, informing Liv that this will be the next step and she'll need this to make an offer. So now Liv clicks yes, directing the chatbot to add that pre-qualification letter to her files in seconds. We can assume that that's easy to integrate. We've integrated it here with automatic underwriting, so that only takes a matter of seconds. And after that, we can see a QR code has been generated by the chatbot that links to the pre-qualification letter and that Liv can share when she's ready to make an offer. Whenever that QR code is scanned, that will also alert the bank and Liv's relationship manager, and so they'll be notified as well. Next, the chatbot asks Liv if she would like to connect with a mortgage specialist to explore if buying a home is right for her, but Liv has all the information she needs at this time. She's a millennial, so she's going to say no to that. And then the chatbot tells Liv that she can reach out whenever she's ready and directs her to some self-directed educational content that she can start to explore on her own time. About a month later, Liv and her fiance find the home of their dreams and they decide to make an offer, at which point the agent scans Liv's QR code linked to her pre-qualification letter. Here we can see that the chatbot knows that this has happened and now is informing Liv that it can help her secure a mortgage at the lowest possible rate. It also pushes Liv an educational video on the mortgage process and what to expect. The chatbot asks again if Liv would like to meet with the mortgage expert now that some time's gone by, but she decides to go at it on her own and decides to try to take the next step. The chatbot tells Liv no problem and directs her to the next step, which is to navigate to the Documents tab to begin uploading the required documents so that the chatbot can generate a mortgage loan estimate. Here we navigate to Documents, and you can see that Liv has been able to easily upload all of these documents virtually and has started to download or upload all these required files. And this really enables a really seamless anytime, anywhere banking experience. However, we can also see that Liv's W-2 form with her proof of income was auto-rejected by the system. And so, intuiting that Liv may be stuck and needs some human support, the chatbot asks again if she would like to be connected with a mortgage specialist, and this time Liv agrees. She decides to schedule a virtual appointment. Here we can see Liv easily find a convenient time to meet with a specialist for advice, and she can do this whenever that's needed, and she never has to step foot in a bank branch. Meanwhile, the efficiency that all of this digitally reimagined experience creates for the financial specialist allows that financial specialist to really focus their time and expertise where it matters the most, on high value advising activities. Here, Liv has entered some notes about the purpose of the call, and she can book the appointment. And that's booked an appointment with a mortgage specialist, Jack. Her appointment is confirmed. And if we go back to the app and go to the appointments tab, we can also see that she can see that appointment and join the call right there from her appointments tab. At this point, we're going to show what it would look like for Liv and Jack to work together. And here we've switched to Jack's view, and Jack now can see that Liv is ready to join the call. He's started the call on Teams. So he brings Liv into the call, and now they're ready to collaborate on her loan application. Jack shares his screen, and here we can see the ability to track Liv's loan across the application lifecycle. This is possible with Collaboration Manager, a component of the FSI Cloud that incorporates a Teams channel into every product application. So this makes it really easy for Liv and Jack to start to collaborate and track her loan across that approval process. We can also see in the document pane that all the files Liv has uploaded are mostly approved except for that one W-2 form, which is rejected. Jack reviews the documents and he realizes that the reason it got rejected is because she uploaded a W-2 from the wrong year. No problem, they can troubleshoot that together. She uploads the correct document, and now we can see it's been approved and they're ready to move forward. Next, Liv brings up a concern that she has 2 months left on her rent, and she's curious if she can have an extended close to avoid having to pay rent and mortgage at the same time. Jack explains that Liv can lock in her mortgage rate for 90 days, and he can just pull up this Microsoft Whiteboard app to make it really easy for them to walk through Liv's options. Then Liv lets Jack know, you know what, she's already talked to the seller. The seller's already approved an extended rate lock. So Jack assures Liv that's great. The bank can process that mortgage with the rate lock just as quickly as a standard mortgage. And here he pushes the revised contract option to Liv, and they're able to review that together. And then Liv can seamlessly sign that digitally without ever having to meet in person. Next, Liv and Jack can continue to track the loan's progress. And here we can see that it has eventually successfully been approved. So Liv and her fiance are very excited. They decide to go out for a nice dinner, get some drinks to celebrate. And at this point, we're now going to switch to the bank's view of Liv as a customer, which is all information that Jack as a mortgage specialist then has at his fingertips. So here we have the unified customer profile, another component of the FSI Cloud that leverages Dynamics 365 to provide a 360-degree view of every customer. We can see on the summary dashboard that we have some great information about Liv as a customer, from her life events to her financial holdings, and a little bit on her household and income. Next, if we navigate to the Transactions tab, here is where our AI algorithm was able to analyze Liv's spending patterns and detect that she was likely planning some major life events like a wedding and a move. And this is a really important capability since it allows banks to get in front of customers at these critical moments in their lives when customers might be really busy and may not think or know to reach out at that time to their bank. For example, she's probably has her hands full planning her wedding and move, and she's not thinking, I should meet with a financial planning or a financial expert. So at this point, this allows us to get in front of Liv at these critical moments with the advice that she needs. Next, if we navigate to the Suggested Products tab, we can see a number of things. First, we can see that Liv's credit limit that we increased through the chatbot has been successfully increased from $15,000 to $20,000. We can also see that she has a great credit score, and it's looking good based in part because she's followed all of the helpful advice that the chatbot has given her. And then most importantly, we can see all of the products that are predicted to be most relevant to Liv at this time based on how qualified she is, as well as her needs. And so all of these products are then ranked using an affinity score that leverages everything we know about Liv as a customer. This is extremely useful to financial specialists like Jack, who can then use this information to recommend the right products at the right times. Lastly, if we navigate over to the Relationship Manager dashboard, here we can see that Jack has everything he needs to seamlessly manage all of his clients, including all of his upcoming appointments, such as the one with Liv, as well as his other clients, and other useful information across those different client accounts. So this concludes our demo for human-centered digital banking. We're really excited about this, and with the Microsoft Cloud for Financial Services, the bank can predict Liv's needs seamlessly and proactively with a 360-degree view of Liv's data, her spending patterns, and this makes it possible to intelligently target Liv with the most relevant education products, services, before she ever thinks to ask, and whenever she needs those the most. Looking ahead, we're really excited to continue innovating and integrating new capabilities across the Microsoft platform. And so just as an example of what that could look like, earlier, Alex mentioned Nuance, which we can now use to analyze a customer's voice patterns and do a sentiment analysis. So in the future, you could imagine that we might be able to use that to run real-time analytics during Liv's interactions with a chatbot or with the mortgage specialist. And that would allow us to better predict when Liv's frustrated and when she may need support. Leveraging that full power of the Microsoft technology stack makes the possibilities to reimagine a more human-centered digital banking experience truly endless. So now I'll hand it back over to you, Alex, to wrap this up.
Thanks, team. As I mentioned, Microsoft creates first-party solutions for cloud for financial services. In this session, we really wanted to focus on extensibility and ability to customize these solutions, as well as extend these solutions with the richness of other technologies that we have across cloud services. Everything that you saw is based on the security and compliance framework that exists in Microsoft Cloud, and all the certifications that we have for the cloud apply to these solutions, because the design for these cloud for industry is really utilizing all the existing components that we have in the ecosystem. And you will continue see both Microsoft innovation as well as our partner innovation in this space. If you want to learn more about the work we're doing within the financial services, you can go to aka.ms/financial services. And Nuance acquisition is relatively new. We're very excited about it. As you can see, there's a lot of value that we believe the AI models that they have can provide. So you can learn more about what we're doing with those in aka.ms/Microsoft Nuance. And at this point in time, I want to open up the floor for Q&A from anybody who is online. Maybe I'll ask one question that I get common from customers. I keep saying that this is an extensible platform, and Lauren mentioned that a lot of the solutions are based on Dynamics for Dynamics platform. Monte, what about integration with non-Microsoft solutions?
Yeah, thanks, Alex. Yeah, we have a there is a somewhat competitor / partner of ours that we work with sometimes. I think you all know who that other CRM person may be. We do play well with other partners / SIs, and essentially what we're trying to do is not rip and replace what clients already have, but complement what they already have. So FSI Cloud, we've done this at one customer, large bank in Canada, and there are several other customers looking to do the same thing. Tech stack will determine to what degree we can actually incorporate or implement the existing solutions in FSI Cloud. There are 4 out-of-the-box components to FSI Cloud. Of course, that's being extended to wealth management and insurance. So just depending on the customer's tech landscape determines on how we will develop the solution using those FSI Cloud components.
Great. And yeah, I do want to reiterate, it is not locked into Microsoft only. That is not the Microsoft strategy. While we would love for everybody to use Microsoft technology, but the reality is not that. So we are happy to integrate and help people customers use what they have. The question from Aldo, which technologies were used for the human-centered banking solution?
So we use the from FSI Cloud, we use Collaboration Manager and Unified Customer Profile. The portal was built using Power Apps Portal, and we built the PVA bot using Azure Bot Framework. We have a server that we use for all of the data. So we use Customer Insights to basically do the analysis on those transactions that Lauren displayed earlier. Microsoft Bookings is also leveraged for the appointment booking. I think Intelligent Appointments is also being released here shortly. So as we look to expand the demo to include other capabilities that are being released, that should be GA soon, we will look to incorporate things like Nuance and also Intelligent Appointments into the solution.
We have some more comments. Is there any real customer using this fantastic demo the way you have presented it? It's great. Thanks, Juan. Do you want to take that as well, Monty?
Yes. So Alex mentioned earlier that this demo is running in the MTCs, which is generating a lot of attention. So we're getting a ton of questions from clients regarding the solution. We have bits and pieces of this solution available. The end-to-end solution is still in development, but there are bits and pieces, basically components of this solution that we can deploy to clients. But the end-to-end solution will be available hopefully early next year.
And I would add to that, it's really about developing the journey first, and the journey and prioritization of the experience that a bank, insurance, or whatever financial institution wants to create for their customers is really the first discussion. And a lot of times we have that as an initial kickoff. So don't look at it as this is the solution. It's multiple components that we fit after we decide how the bank wants to present the journey to their customers, or how an insurance customer wants to present. So it's a composable pieces of architecture that fit a business scenario we want to provide. That's the thinking, not this is the click and point solution. And your follow-up question in terms of microservices and Kubernetes, I'll answer it from my perspective. Again, back to what I just said, it's really anything in the platform. If I want to use Nuance for a particular scenario and particular journey step, fine. If I don't want to do that, I use something else. So prioritization, and then there are pre-built SaaS solution, like we keep saying, the unified profile. That is a solution that Microsoft built, and you can use that for that particular piece. But how do you step into the next piece, like Lauren was mentioning, automatic underwriting? Okay, well, that may be integrating with an underwriting system that exists in a bank. So it's journey first, value to the customer, value to the business, and then pick the appropriate technology for the appropriate step. And that could be microservices, that could be Kubernetes, that could be a SaaS solution, that could be a third-party SaaS solution. In the demo, there was a quickly mentioned that some documents were e-signed. Well, that could be an Adobe solution for e-signatures and collecting of it. So don't think of it as a point and click and I have a solution. It's a composable architecture.
Absolutely. We take a very design thinking led approach to every engagement, really leading with the user experience and what we want to achieve and deliver to that user, both on the customer side, the employee side, as well as from the perspective of our clients. So Great question. We have another question. Is Nuance now included with Cloud for Financial Services?
I don't actually know the answer to that one. That's a good question. It's relatively new. I'm still learning the Nuance architecture myself as an architect. I don't know from the licensing perspective what is included. What I do know is that we are tightly integrating them. It is in preview today, so not like production yet, although Nuance can be and used by a very large set of financial services today, more as a custom component. Integrating it into the baseline of cloud for financial services is in the previous state today. As far as licensing, I'm not really sure, and it's not really my area of expertise.
Great. And another question, excellent. Where can I learn more about what's in preview with Nuance?
Go back to the slide that I had earlier. If you want to do aka.ms/Microsoft-Nuance, and that's the microsite that talks about sort of the current and going forward plan on integration.
Thanks, Alex. Another question. What AI was used in the demo? Is it open to use by everyone? And how do you train it to get the desired result?
I'll take that.
Great, thanks.
Yeah, so we use Databricks to create the AI model and also to train the model. This is something that was built by Avanade, and so it is capability that we currently integrate into any solution that requires any sort of AI or analytics.
And that's another example, I think, which underscores what I said earlier. We have financial services AI models. We have, for example, fraud detection models that can be used out of the box. We also have AI services within Azure that can create custom models, and we have pre-built models, pre-trained models. But really, it depends on the business and depends on the situation, and it may need to be adjusted or customized to a specific scenario. And in this case, as Monty is saying, it's a model created by Avanade. You're not limited to just what's out of the box. Of course, it's easier and faster to do something that's out of the box sometimes, but other times you need to create a custom solution. Sounds good. Well, I hope you learned something and saw something interesting. If there's further interest in this topic, please join other sessions that talk about and demo some of the out-of-the-box solutions. This was focused more on extensibility and our partners, and I'm looking forward to hear from people around the world.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.